Hello Mark, I'm Nadia, and my student number is 22. I'm going to read this article and the title is It's Not Your Imagination, the Modeling Industry is Changing. Mila Del Beso Photo, Jody Rocket for Yahoo Style. When it comes to representing society's diverse spectrum of beauty, the modeling industry hasn't exactly gotten it right. For a long time, it's promoted the negative ideal that very thin, white teenage girls epitomize high-end beauty, says Sarah Ziff, former model and founder of the Model Alliance, a non-profit organization dedicated to creating safe and fair working conditions. Implicit in this message is that further-figured, non-white, grown women are incompatible with the high-end look. That, however, might finally be changing. Some of the industry's most exciting new faces are black, Aya Jones, biracial, Binks Walton, Asian, Dylan Shi, transgendered, Andrew Pidgeck, and decidedly not a size 0. Ashley Graham. Sports Illustrated featured their first plus-size woman, model Robin Lowry, while Crystal Ren, Mila Del Beso, and Kate Upton, part of the influx of in-between-size models, have found mainstream and high-fashion success. The most successful models, Gisela Adriana Lima, Natalia Vodianova, working today are above the age of 30. In 2014, the average age of Forbes Richie list was 31.5. 5 years older than it was in 2007, 26.5. And according to the Fashion Spot's seasonal diversity report, the fall 2015 runways feature more women of color than ever before, though still not nearly enough. After years of getting called out by the media for being racist, sexist, and ageist, has the modeling industry finally started listening? I think the tide is shifting, albeit slowly, in the right direction, said casting director Julia Samosova, who's worked with everyone from J. Crew and Jimmy Choo. These are not leaps and bounds, but baby steps. Runway models are still usually young and skinny, and unfortunately, they are still mostly white. As the Fashion Spot Diversity Report reveals, 77% of models that worked the runways at New York Fashion Week were white, though that's down from 80% that season. So, while the figure is nothing to brag about, it's an improvement. Although we still have a ways to go, at least we are seeing incremental change in terms of increased racial diversity, said Ziff. 33-year-old Russian model Natalia Vadanova for Stella McCartney. Of the runway scenes are a bit better, models of different ages, ethnicities, and body types are booking lucrative and high-profile gigs, as brands catch on to the fact that most women don't aspire to be thick-skinned teenagers. 100% the old and tired attitude that models must be young has dramatically shifted, said Samosova. Women want to be inspired by other women, not little girls. They want to aspire to be themselves, only better, not necessarily younger. I think our perception of age is changing. I'm not sure a woman in her 40s wants to buy what an 18-year-old is selling. This is good news for models too, many of whom were forced into adult situations at a young age. At the Model Alliance, We feel that adults, not children, should model clothing that is marketed to adults, said Ziv. It sets a healthier standard for models and consumers alike. The two are more related than one might think. Traditionally, Ziv explains, the modeling industry has operated in a bubble with a very top-down management style. Although the models are the faces of the industry, most models have very little power within it, she said. By giving models a say in their work, we aim to make the industry more transparent, accountable, and fair. When models have fairer contracts, read no stipulations about weight gain, and more power in their business dealings, they are less likely to succumb to eat disorders or stay silent about discrimination. And thanks to social media, models don't need to rely on their agencies for praise. They've got a direct line to brands as well as fans, and are able to craft an image that sets them apart from others, making them a marketable asset even if they gain 10 pounds or age 10 years. Plus-size model Robin Lowry in this year's Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue. The power it has given model is unquantifiable, said Samosova. I mean, Vogue did an entire cover and feature story on the Instagirls. Carly Close, Cara Delevingne, and John Smalls. This is just the beginning. Unlike a runway show, where models are meant to be interchangeable, social media celebrate the unique individual, quirks and all. On Instagram and Twitter, being outside the norm is actually a good thing. It's what makes for interesting and compelling stories. It's a fact that America's Next Top Model has been banking on for years. The reality shows has constantly pushed modeling boundaries. They've put a spotlight on models of all different ethnicities, genders, and body types, from plus-size winner Whitney Thompson to transgender contestant Isis King to Chantal Brown-Young, who suffers from vitiligo. When we started the show, one of the mandates that Tyra had, as well as myself, being Asian American, it is that we wanted to move the ball an inch to expand the notion about what beauty was, explains executive producer Ken Mock. Mock has witnessed how powerful an asset a unique point of view can be for a model. Frankly, a lot of the cast members who have been different, who are trans or who have Asperger's, wind up being the most popular characters on the show. ANTM might be one of the reasons the modeling industry has opened their eyes to different types of beauty. Indirectly, we've had an effect we're really proud of that, said Mark. I do think that over the last 12 years, you've seen the picture change quite a bit in the modeling industry. The effect on public perception has been even greater. When you see something on TV, it's like saying, okay, it's permissible, said Mark. When people, especially young girls, see people on TV that reflect who they are and what they look like, it has a positive effect. Kate Upton on the cover of Vogue. The biggest vehicle for change in the modeling industry, however, hasn't been the models or even the media, but the consumer. Designers realize the consumer is king and the consumer is everywhere, said Samosova. As an industry, we need to reflect that globalism. Also, the industry has now realized that a woman over size 8 also wants and deserves to feel stylish and have access to designer and luxury items. There is a lot of money to be made dressing the over size 8 population. Ziv agrees that, thanks in part to conversations stated in the media, it's now become a bad PR move for a designer to not reflect a degree of diversity in their casting choices. Consumers have more power than they realize, said Ziv. Ultimately, the fashion industry is a business, and if consumers stop buying clothing and beauty products from brands that send negative messages through their advertising, or that mistreat their workers, this brand will be forced to evolve. Or, as Samasova put it, the almighty dollar wins every time. Consumers interested in seeing a wider variety of beauty reflected in the pages of their magazines or on the runway would be wise to keep that in mind, because while these small improvements are reason to hope for more diversity within the modeling industry, we've still got a long way to go. Thank you for your listening.